Welcome to Gentle Moderate Yoga with Wendy and Buddy. It is May 24th and I just want to welcome you to this practice, and I invite you to find a nice seated position. We'll just be here for a few minutes, but perhaps find a cushion or a blanket to sit on, something to support your hips a little bit, and start to find that perfect position for you, letting the sits bones settle. As the sits bones settle, lift through the crown. Maybe take a nice big breath and exhale that breath right down the body, right into the earth. So this gentle, moderate practice today will include some triangles. We'll definitely get to a pigeon. Maybe some breath of joy. I'm hoping to squeeze that in. So anyway, as you settle in, just begin to notice where your body is needing some attention today. Perhaps it's more your mind than your body needing attention. Just take a moment and notice. As we begin to breathe together, we'll inhale the arms up. And just know that every exhale is an opportunity to let go of whatever you might be holding. It's also an opportunity to inhale into those places, body, mind, and spirit, where you might need a little extra attention. So we're definitely taking a good breath in and a great breath out here. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's try that a couple more times. And exhale down. And this time, as you exhale, hands come to the mat. We'll drop over into the left hand and spend a little time here finding some space in the right side body. Breathing fully into the belly. We inhale up and switch sides. So again, breathing fully into the belly as you lengthen out through the left side body. With your next breath, let's inhale up and just exhale into a little twist. We won't even touch down, we'll just twist and inhale up. And exhale and inhale. Exhale. And last one. And this time as you inhale, let's take the right hand to the left knee and let this left arm really just kind of open a door for you here. We're reaching with the inhale. Exhaling as the hand settles behind you. Sit nice and tall. Dropping that left shoulder down the back body. Stopping here for a couple of breaths. And just notice while you're here, where are you holding? Where I feel a little tension in my neck, so I'm going to unwind my neck a little. Excuse me. Dropping this left shoulder down the body helps release. One more breath here. And then we inhale up. And exhale. Bringing left hand to the right knee, and this right arm is just opening a door and eventually settling, allowing that shoulder to drop. Every inhale lengthens you up, right up through the crown. We exhale, opening this side of the body. One more breath here. Coming back to center. If you're sitting cross-legged, go ahead and switch your legs around into the unusual position. Bring your hands to the shoulders and just begin to explore some of the space in the shoulders, the pecs, maybe getting into the neck area. And we'll reverse direction, bringing those elbows right across the front of the body. And eventually we'll exhale, elbows together. Inhale, open heart wide. Exhale. And inhale. Let's try that one more time. Exhaling. This time as we inhale, arms open wide. Big breath. And reaching up with your next breath, we'll interlace the fingers, reach up to the sky. Allowing the hands to very, very slowly make their way down to your lap, to the floor, to your knees, wherever they land is perfect. And if you're comfortable softening the gaze or closing the eyes, please do so. And I invite you to once again notice where you're needing a little attention this morning, this evening, whatever time of day you are doing this practice. Noticing those places that need a little attention. And begin to take the exhalation right to those spots. Releasing any tightness. Bringing a little softness to that spot or those spots. And from this place of awareness, I invite you to come into what I call spinal breathing. This breath that comes from the earth and comes right up through the spine, all the way up to the tip of the nose. And that breath just drops down with the exhalation, down the spine, down into the earth. So we're inhaling up, filling the body, and exhaling, dropping the breath right back into the earth. And as you continue this breath, think about what you can let go of as you exhale. And begin to think about what you can add, what you can take into your body with the inhale. So breathing into the body, a thought, a word, an intention, a color, many colors. What does your body need? What does your mind need right now? What does your spirit need right now? And after your next exhalation, we'll come back to ordinary breathing. And with the eyes still closed or the gaze softened, inhale, arms up overhead. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart, and we'll place a hand on your heart and the other hand on top. And take this opportunity to set intentions for yourself, or perhaps to send out gratitude out to a special person or an animal, or just out into our larger community. With your next breath, let's seal those intentions and that gratitude with the single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. And from here, interlacing the fingers as you gently open the eyes, we reach out. Maybe yawn. I've just given you all a yawn. Let's inhale up. And exhaling, hands behind the back. If you're sitting on something, you can remove it. And let's release the legs. Shake them out. Finding a little more space here. Oh, you know, I haven't done the butt crawl in a while. Let's do that. So this is where we just walk forward on the butt. Great little warm up. And then you have to walk backwards. Coming right back to where we started. And landing. Let's bring a hand to the crown. Reaching right up with the breath and dropping the head over to the side. We'll get a little bit of back and forth here. And inhaling up to center. We'll switch sides. A little gentle dropping over to the side. And then just a little bit of back and forth. Releasing the jaw, the brow. Maybe yawning again. And coming back to center, rolling those shoulders in place. Let's make our way up to a standing position, coming up to the front of your mat. And finding a nice comfortable standing position. We're not moving into Tadasana yet. We'll begin with a half moon, bringing hands together up over the body and exhaling over to the side. Inhale up and exhale. And we inhale. Let's try one more on each side. Inhaling up. We'll drop over. Inhale right back up. And from here, hands come down. And let's come to monkey breath, where we inhale and inhale. Letting that exhale happen where it will naturally. And landing. Shake out the hands, shake out your legs. Let's do a little breath of joy. So again, comfortable standing position here. I'll go through it slowly a couple times and then we'll do it together 5 or 6 times. So breath of joy. You want your knees to stay nice and loose here. And we begin with an inhale, an inhale, an inhale, and a knee bending and sweeping. Coming back up. So it looks like this. Inhale. Join in whenever you're ready. Let's try it 5 more times. Let your head go. 3 more. I think this is the last one. And let those arms just swing. Head is heavy. And then we crawl our way back up to standing. Arms reach up. Finding each other. And come right back to the heart. Taking a nice breath here for recovery. Landing on both feet. And again, shake everything out as we begin. And I think we'll go over to the side. I have my little notes here telling me that we'll start over on the side. So let's come over here and begin by finding your Tadasana. So we want to maybe have a little forward and back movement, some side to sides. Come to a place that is balanced for you. Perhaps noticing where you have not been balanced. And we drop into both feet, letting the shoulders drop down the back body, softening the jaw, palms open forward. And from here with the breath, inhale up, exhale, come on down. Inhale, hands up to the knees, up to a flat back. We exhale down, releasing the head, releasing the jaw. Arms are heavy, shoulders are heavy. If the floor is far away here, you can grab a block to support you. And let's take another breath, bringing hands up to the knees, lengthening out through the back body, exhaling down. And with your next breath, hands that land on either side of the feet. We'll step back with the right foot and spend a little time here just shifting forward and back. So we're inhaling forward, exhaling back. And you can always bring that knee to the floor, the back knee, if that helps you feel more stable, if it's more comfortable. Taking all the time you need here to breathe into the hamstrings, the back of the knee, the hip flexors. And the next time you come forward, let's land that back knee on the floor if it wasn't already there. Inhale up, lengthening up through fingertips as the tailbone tucks, heart opens here. And then left hand grabs the right and we'll just reach over to the left side. So I'm reaching away from you right now. Breathing into my open right side. Inhaling up, and we'll find a little balance here and come to the other side. This is a very different stretch on this side. Inhaling back up to center. Beautiful. A little breath, and then exhaling, hands to the floor again. We'll tuck the back toes, step our way back to downward dog. And let this downward dog be creative, opening, comfortable, finding space in the back body and the shoulders. Let this be as messy as you need it to be. Maybe add a little bit of shifting forward and back. And the next time you shift forward, we'll land in a plank. And know that your knees can always come to the floor. For those in the air, let's take 3 breaths here. knees come to the floor, we land. Hands are right under the shoulders. We'll roll the shoulders back. Lengthen out through the toes as you lift, breathing into the heart, breathing into the upper chest, lengthening up through the crown, finding exactly your cobra. One more breath. And with the next breath, come on back to child pose. Maybe make this child pose active. So we're bringing a little bit of just gentle rocking from side to side here. Lengthening out through fingertips. And eventually settling as you feel that tailbone just drop into the heels. If you'd like, as you reach forward, you can walk your hands over to the right. Left hand lands on top and we get a good stretch through the left side body here. And then we walk in the other direction. Coming back to center. Let's inhale up. We'll tuck those toes. Come to downward dog. Dropping the weight into the heels. And walk your way forward. So here we are, back in standing forward bend. Feet are under the hips. We'll inhale, hands to the knees. Take a breath. Exhale. Let's do that once again. Inhale. Lengthening out through the back body. Shoulders drop down. Exhale down. And from here, softening the knees a little as you inhale and make your way all the way up. Hands find each other and come to the heart. Let's try that on the other side. So once again, coming to the front of your mat and coming into Tadasana. We're dropping into both feet here, finding that place of balance, that perfect place between forward and back and side to side where the body drops in and says, ah, yes. Lengthen up through the crown, drop the shoulders down the back body, palms are forward. And once you've arrived here, take a moment to settle, to let go of any holding. And with your next breath, we'll inhale up, exhale, come on down. Inhale, hands up to the knees, lengthen through the back body. Exhale down, releasing the head, the shoulders, the jaw, the brow. Once again, inhale, hands up to the knees, lengthening out, shoulders drop down the back. We exhale. From here, hands land on either side of your feet. We'll step back with the left foot, taking it a leg length back, and take a little bit of time here, finding a little more space in the hamstrings, shifting forward, knowing that the back knee can always come down. Inhaling forward. Exhaling as you bow. And the next time you come forward, back knee comes to the floor. We engage those abs. Inhale, lift and lengthen here. Shoulders drop down the back as the fingertips lift, heart lifts. And then the right hand finds the left wrist and we reach into this beautiful side stretch. Inhaling back to center and finding our balance before we come into the other twist. So left hand grabs the right wrist and I'm reaching over to the left. From here we inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to the floor. And tucking the toes, step back to downward dog. And in this downward dog, let's bring the big toes together and take a leg in the air. Doesn't matter which one. We're just lengthening up through that leg as we drop into the standing heel. Lengthening up, breathing, filling belly, hips. Hips are still squared to the front. And then we'll put that one down. And know that you can shorten the amount of time you do this, of course. And if you need to bring knees to the floor, perfect. But we've switched legs, so now I have my right leg in the air. And breathing and reaching through shoulders here as I reach up through the right toes. And that leg comes to the floor. From here we shift forward, coming to plank or knees to the floor, your choice. If you're in plank, well, no matter where you are, let's take 3 breaths here. We're lengthening out through the crown, out through the soles of the feet, lifting the core, supporting the body from the crown to the soles of the feet. And from here, knees come to the floor as you gently come on down, rolling the shoulders back, landing in a prep for cobra, and this is where you get to decide how big your cobra wants to be. Taking 3 or 4 good cobra breaths here as you lift and lengthen up through the crown. Exhale back down. One more breath. And with the next breath, come on back to child pose. Taking the breath to the back body, dropping the hips all the way down, really reaching toward the floor. One more breath here. And looking forward, hands plant. We inhale up to all fours, tuck those toes. Exhale to downward dog. And we'll walk our way forward, landing and standing forward bend. Let's inhale, hands up to the knees, rolling the shoulders down the back body. Exhale down. Once again, we inhale, hands up to the knees, lengthening, lifting, and exhale. With your next breath, we'll bend those knees and uncurl, unfurl from here, reaching up. Hands find each other and come to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Breathing. And from here, let's come back to the front of your mat, please. So, once again, we're going to find our Tadasana or mountain pose. Taking as much time as you need to find that place, that landed place of balance. That place where everything feels like it lines up. drop those shoulders down the back body. Palms are gently turned forward here. The jaw is tucked a little bit as you reach up through the crown. And take a moment here to notice where you're holding. Where can you soften? And now that I have you in this perfect spot, I invite you to look around and see if you have a block handy, because you might need one, because we're moving into triangle pose. So know where you have a block or a blanket or a couple of books. We'll inhale up, exhale, hands come down on either side of the feet. Let's inhale up to a flat back, so hands come either up to the knees or up to your shins. Exhale down. Let's step back with the right foot and land, excuse me, with the foot at a 45-degree angle. And from here, I'm going to grab a block and place it on the outside of this left foot. And I'm going to build a triangle from the ground up. So I'm feeling full connection with all four corners of each foot here. And I'm beginning to straighten this front leg. So we'll straighten it and then bend. And straighten and bend. One more time. We straighten and bend. And this time as you straighten, let's leave it straight. We're rooting into both feet here. The right hand comes up to the hip and we begin to open the hip. Open the belly. Open the chest and the shoulders, and eventually come to a place of stacking shoulder over shoulder. So gently gazing up toward the ceiling here, or just straight ahead. Breathing. And what we always want to think about with triangle, you want to think about the underbody and the top body both feeling extended. So if you're really scrunched, then I really recommend getting a block so you can lengthen out from the crown to your tailbone, long body there, getting rid of any scrunch in the underside body. So we're looking for shoulders stacked over shoulders and no scrunch. Take one more breath here. And then bending that front knee, transition your way into Warrior Two. We settle in. Front knee is right over the heel or a little bit forward. Shoulders are dropped down the back. Take a breath here and really drop the shoulders. There you go. We're looking over the left fingertips here. Let's take another breath here. And then coming into a dancing warrior. The left hand lifts, right hand comes to the back of the right leg as you breathe into the belly. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then inhaling back to our Warrior Two. Let's actually turn toward your front leg. So the back foot pivots. Inhale up into a high lunge, or you could stay in Warrior One with that back foot at an angle. But I'm in high lunge here with the foot facing forward. Exhale, hands to the floor on either side of that front foot. And let's step back to 3-legged dog. So left leg reaches up in the air. And from here, I invite you to bring this left foot all the way forward to the outside of your left hand. And so it's as simple as that quick movement. We're just inhaling, exhaling, sweeping the foot forward to the outside of the left hand. And once you've arrived there, land really feeling the connection in that foot. You're lengthening out through the back right leg. And this is where there's a couple options. You can stay here. We'll be moving into some twists, but you can also bring that back knee to the floor. So wherever you are, let's inhale up with the right arm. Lengthening up to the sky. Breathing. Now we do have a little scrunch in the underside body. Exhaling that hand to the floor and inhale up with the left arm. Exhale that hand down. We inhale back up. We'll be doing this twice on each side, lengthening up through the right arm. Exhale that hand to the floor. Inhale to the twist. Lengthening out strongly through the right leg. Exhale that back down. We'll step back with the left foot. Coming right back to your downward dog. And walk forward. So coming into standing forward bend, we inhale up, finding a long flat back here. Exhale down. Release the head, the jaw, the shoulders, soften the knees. Allow yourself to come into a bit of a ragdoll. So elbows are cradled as you drop in, and maybe bring a little bit of gentle movement side to side. And with your next breath, elbows are released, hands walk up the body. You make your way all the way up for a big breath. And come right back to the heart. So let's see if I can remember to do all of that on the other side. So come on back to the front of your mat, please. Dropping into both feet. Roll those shoulders down the back body. Tailbone is tucked, heart is lifted, crown is lifted, jaw is tucked just a little. Take a nice breath and settle into this posture, arriving here. And as you prepare to take a breath, take a moment to notice if you have any blocks near you that you might use for this other side of the triangle. Let's inhale up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, hands up to a flat back. We'll exhale down. And let's step back with the left foot, landing at a 45-degree angle. Grab a block or a book or your blanket, or maybe nothing at all, but whatever support you're needing here. And from here, let's really land on all four corners of each foot. So we're connecting with the floor and the earth here. And begin to straighten and bend the front leg. And one more time, we exhale and then shift forward. And then this next time, straightening that front leg. Right hand lands on the block, and we begin to make our way into triangle with the left hand on the hip, opening the belly, opening the shoulders, and eventually stacking shoulder over shoulder. And I encourage you definitely to notice the scrunch. If you're feeling a little scrunched, maybe come up a little higher. And for me, I like to play with this idea of, can my right hip actually come back a little, and will that give me a little more space up here? There's the old style, one style at least, of triangle is that we are just flat as glass here. I like thinking about where are there other options? Where can we bring a little more space into this posture as you lengthen up through fingertips, letting your gaze gently come up. One more breath here. And from here, we'll bend the front knee, dropping right into Warrior Two, letting the body find this posture with the tailbone tucking. The crown lifts. We're gently looking over the right fingertips here. We'll settle in for another couple of breaths, letting the shoulders drop down the back body. and then front palm opens as we inhale into three breaths in Dancing Warrior. Inhaling back to Warrior 2. Let's turn to the front, pivot that back foot, finding your high lunge, dropping the shoulders down the back. We lift through the crown, tailbone continues to tuck. We'll exhale, hands to the floor, and step yourself back into three-legged dog. Right leg lifts and lengthens here as you drop into the left standing heel. We're strongly in our three-legged dog, lengthening and breathing up into the toes. And then with your exhale, this right leg comes to the outside of the right hand. So just dropping in, front knee bends. And from here, our right hand stays on the floor as the left arm lifts. And here we feel the scrunch. Exhaling that hand to the floor, we inhale into the twist with the right arm lifting. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Inhale, left lifts, lengthening out through that left leg, or perhaps bringing that leg to the floor. And last time we come into the twist. Exhaling that hand to the floor. Let's step back to downward dog here. And from this downward dog, let's bring the forearms to the floor, dropping right into a dolphin. And breathe. Strong arms supporting you as you drop the weight into the heels. Tailbone is in the air here. Head is not on the mat. And then knees come to the mat, and we settle right back into a child pose. Perhaps even bringing the arms alongside the legs. Dropping into a very small, comfy child pose. Two more breaths here. And with your next breath, inhale, hands plant forward as we tuck toes, exhale into downward dog. And walk forward, arriving and standing forward bend. Let's inhale up to a flat back. We'll exhale down. And then inhale and sweep up. Exhaling, hands right to the heart. Beautiful. So I'm thinking that we'll do a little pigeon soon, but I'm thinking about a dancer. And so for this posture, it might make sense for you to see a side angle. This is a posture, a very open posture that also is very balancy. So I will start on the side. So we're starting here in our Tadasana, dropping into both feet, really feeling the connection with the floor, with the earth, lengthening up through the crown. And you have a couple of options here. You can, of course, follow exactly what I'm doing, but you also can drop into a tree if tree pose is what feels right for you this evening, or this morning, or whenever you're watching this practice. So for now, I'm going to drop into my right foot, finding a drishti or a focal point in front of me. me stabilize myself. Bring the left leg into the left hand. Left foot is engaged. And a great place to stop. This is a beautiful balance pose right here, but you can also take this a little bit further and find a dancer. So we're opening, lifting through the quad, lengthening out through fingertips here. Foot is engaged. Notice what balance you need. Note that there are lots of walls around and whatever space you're in. And then we eventually come right back to our Tadasana. Nice work. Let's try it on the other side. So, start here. Arriving in Tadasana, dropping into both feet, softening the jaw. Let's drop into the left foot. Find drishti. Really noting the strength of that left leg as the right leg comes into the right hand. We open the heart, the quad, the front body. As we lift and lengthen here. Breathing from fingertips all the way down into the feet and into the floor, the foot and into the floor. And then releasing, hands come right back to the heart. Nice work. Let's come down to all fours and make our way into a pigeon. So I'm thinking I'll do this forward. We want to start in all fours, on all fours, dropping in. Maybe do a couple of just cat and cow stretches here. We're exhaling into our scared cat, inhaling into the old cow, exhaling and inhaling and just finding a little space. Maybe add a little bit of hip circling. Letting the body work out any kinks you may have found or even created by some of the movements. And then from here, let's bring the right knee forward, landing it under your right shoulder. Right foot is engaged as you scooch back through the left leg, finding exactly what your body's needing right now. And you may need a block or a blanket under that right hip. Take a breath as you settle in and then find sleeping pigeon. Using the exhalations to go into those spots that are needing a little extra attention. With your next breath, we'll inhale up, hands support you right underneath the shoulders, lift and lengthen here as you drop over onto that right hip. Let's sweep this left leg around and come into a seated position, moving the butt flesh out of the way. This right foot is into the left thigh. I'm going to sit tall here as we come into Janu Shirsasana. And so both feet want to be engaged, especially this extended one. We're sitting tall. Eventually inhaling up. And then exhale as this left arm either lands on top of the leg or comes in front of the leg. Right arm is reaching toward the toes. And so it would be easy to just pivot your way to find the toes, but I encourage you to keep this arm in the same plane as your body. You're peeking under the armpit here and breathing. One more breath. And with your next breath, inhale up. That right hand lands, left arm reaches, and come on up on that knee as you just find a little space and come on back. And so let's switch around. Coming to pigeon on the other side. So we have the left knee forward, right leg is back, the left foot is engaged. Lengthening up through the crown. Breathing into this heart space. Take a nice breath before settling into your sleeping pigeon. And again, using whatever supports you need to support that left hip. One more breath. And as you're ready, hands support you under the shoulders here as this right leg sweeps around. We settle into preparation for Janu Shirsasana, letting hips seek really a comfortable spot here. Butt flesh is moved out of the way. We sit tall. And then inhaling up. The right arm comes either on top or in front of this right leg as the left arm reaches here. And we're trying to keep both sits bones on the floor as you peek gently under that left arm, reaching toward your toes, breathing, revolving just a bit here. One more breath. And then inhaling up. That left hand lands, right arm reaches, hips lift, take a breath, and exhale back down. Shake the legs out a little bit. You come right down onto your back. And before going any further, with the knees bent and the knees in the air, legs are together, we'll just do some circling here. Circling in one direction 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then we circle in the other direction. And feet eventually land. And one more thing before we really settle in this practice. I invite you to do some leg lifts with me. And so for this, we'll bring the hands underneath your hips, straighten the legs. And you can do this 3 or 4 different ways actually. There's the traditional leg lift with an exhale as the legs lift in the air. Inhale as you come back to earth slowly. You can also bend the knees and just do the same breath. We're exhaling as we scrunch in, inhaling as we open. And then there's trying one leg at a time or straightening it one leg at a time. But whatever your body chooses, I invite you to choose a number and get to that number in the next few moments. What is your target for these leg lifts? And wherever you are, coming down to landing, hips land, back body lands. Let's straighten the right leg and bring the left knee in. Taking a nice deep breath and exhaling the left knee into the body. And the right hand guides this left knee over to the right, which allows this left arm to open wide. And if the left arm says, oh, this is too much, go ahead and keep your hand on the left shoulder and just breathe into this opening space. One more breath. And then both hands support this knee back up to center. We neutralize the spine and bring the right knee in as you straighten the left leg. Take a nice deep breath and exhale the right knee into the body before letting the left hand guide that right knee over to the left side. The right arm reaches out. And breathe into the hips, into the shoulder, into your jaw, releasing. Next breath, hand guides that knee back up to center. And take the next few moments to make any little adjustments your body is needing before you settle into Shavasana. Taking notice of what you need. Eventually settling and softening into Shavasana. Softening the jaw and the brow. Imagine breathing in through the left foot, taking that breath all the way up the body and breathing out through the right foot. Imagine breathing in through the left hip and breathing out through the right hip. Imagine breathing in through your left fingertips and breathing out through the right fingertips. Imagine breathing in through the crown of your head and breathing out through the soles of your feet. Soham Shivoham Soham Shivoham. I am that I am. 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 Soham Soham. Soham Shivoham. Soham Soham. Soham Shivoham. What I have learned so far. Meditation is old and honorable, so why should I not sit every morning of my life on the hillside looking into the shining world? Because, properly attended to, delight as well as havoc is suggestion. Can one be passionate about the just, the ideal, the sublime, and the holy, and yet commit to no labor in its cause? I don't think so. All summations have a beginning. All effect has a story. All kindness begins with the sown seed. Thought buds toward radiance. The gospel of light is the crossroads of indolence or action. Be ignited or be gone. And so very gently, take a few deep breaths. Start to bring a little movement into the body. And when you're ready, knees can come in for a final hug. And then make your way very slowly over to your side. Take a breath or two there. And eventually make your way up to a seated position. Settling the sits bones, we lengthen up through the crown, letting the gaze soften or the eyes close. With your next breath, let's inhale up. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. And take a moment here to think back to the intentions you set. And also to thank yourself for coming to this practice, coming to your mat. We'll end class tonight with the single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Om. Namaste.